Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's from North London to Wembley here, and today we're diving into my predictions for the Premier League Gameweek 2. After a dramatic opening weekend, we've got some huge fixtures lined up, and yes, I'll be talking about Tottenham's trip to the Etihad. I'll give you my predictions first, and we'll look at what you guys voted for in the community poll. Let's get into it. West Ham were disappointing last week. They looked flat and lacked creativity. Chelsea, on the other hand, showed promise despite a goalless draw. Their midfield looked sharp and they controlled the tempo well. I think Chelsea will dominate possession again, with Palmer and Esteval linking up. They'll find the breakthrough. West Ham might grab one from a set piece, but I'm backing Chelsea to take all 3 points. As a Spurs fan, this one's tough to call. We looked great against Burnley. Richarlison was clinical and Kudus added flair, but City are a different level. They dismantled Wolves with ease, and Rangers looks like a perfect fit in midfield. Historically, we've had some joy at the Etihad, but I think City will be too strong this time. I'm going 2-0, but I'll be hoping for a surprise. Bournemouth showed real fight against Liverpool. They scored twice and looked dangerous going forward. Wolves, meanwhile, were completely outplayed by City and didn't offer much in attack. Bournemouth's home crowd will be buzzing, and with Semenyo and Adley in form, I think they'll edge this one. Wolves might score, but Bournemouth should have enough to win. Villa were impressive even with 10 men against Newcastle. They've got depth and attacking options, and Watkins always seems to deliver in big moments. Brentford struggled against Forest and looked vulnerable defensively. I think Villa will exploit those gaps and take a 2-1 win. Brentford might respond late, but Villa's quality should see them through. Burnley were outclassed by Spurs, but they're back at Turf Moor and facing a team that they should be able to handle. Sunderland were brilliant against West Ham, but they've got a poor record away from home. Burnley will want to bounce back, and I think they'll grind out a narrow 1-0 win. Expect a scrappy game with few chances. Arsenal were lucky to beat United, but they're back at the Emirates and facing a newly promoted Leeds side. Leeds showed some fight against Everton, but this is a huge step up. Arsenal's midfield should dominate, and I expect them to control the game from start to finish. A clean sheet and a couple of goals, 2-0 to the Gunners. Palace were unlucky not to beat Chelsea. They had a goal ruled out and missed a few chances. Forest were clinical against Brentford, but they've struggled away from home. Palace's defence is solid, and I think they'll keep Forest quiet. It won't be a high-scoring game, but I'm backing Palace to nick it 1-0. This is a historic moment for Everton, their first Premier League match at the new stadium. The atmosphere will be electric and the fans will be up for it, but Brighton are a tough opponent. They showed flashes of brilliance against Fulham, and players like Matoma and Rutter can really stretch defences. Everton look shaky against Leeds, and unless they tighten up, Brighton's pace and pressing could be too much. I think Everton will score, maybe even early, but Brighton's quality sheet should see them through. I'm going 2-1 to the visitors. Fulham did well to hold Brighton, but United will be desperate to bounce back after their loss to Arsenal. Amorim's attacking setup is starting to click, and I think Sesko and Cunha will be key. Fulham will fight, but United's quality should shine through. I'm going 2-1 to the Red Devils. Newcastle are missing Isak, and that's a huge blow. Liverpool looked vulnerable defensively, but they were ruthless in attack. Salah and Ekitike are a handful, and I think they'll find the net. Newcastle will push hard, especially at home, but I think Liverpool's finishing will be the difference. 2-1 to the Reds. Now let's see what you guys predicted in the community poll. Some of these are really interesting. West Ham versus Chelsea. West Ham 0%, draw 0%, Chelsea 100%. Total confidence in Chelsea here, not a single vote for West Ham or a draw. I'm with you on this one, but West Ham might surprise if they tighten up defensively. Man City versus Tottenham. Man City 0%, draw 0%, Tottenham 100%. Okay, I love the optimism. As a Spurs fan, I want to believe, but City are ruthless. If we pull this off, I'll be celebrating all week. Bournemouth versus Wolves. Bournemouth 100%, draw 0%, Wolves 0%. Full backing for Bournemouth, and I agree. Wolves looked lost last week, and Bournemouth have the energy to take this. Brentford versus Aston Villa. Brentford 0%, draw 0%, Aston Villa 100%. Villa getting all the love here. Brentford might make it tricky, but Villa's squad depth gives them the edge. Burnley versus Sunderland. Burnley 100%, draw 0%, Sunderland 0%. Everyone's backing Burnley to bounce back, and I think they will. Turf Moor is a tough place to go. Arsenal versus Leeds. Arsenal 0%, draw 100%, Leeds 0%. Interesting, you're all expecting a draw. I think Arsenal will be too strong, but Leeds could frustrate them if they stay compact. Crystal Palace versus Nottingham Forest. Palace 100%, draw 0%, Forest 0%. Palace getting full support, and rightly so. Forest struggle away, and Palace are solid at home. Everton versus Brighton. Everton 0%, draw 100%, Brighton 0%. Another full draw prediction. Brighton might have the edge, but Everton could make it messy. Fulham versus Manchester United. Fulham 0%, draw 0%, Man United 100%. United getting all the votes, and I think they will deliver. Fulham will push, but United should have enough. Newcastle versus Liverpool, Newcastle 0%, draw 0%, Liverpool 100%. Everyone's back in Liverpool, and I agree. Newcastle are missing key players, and Liverpool's attack is flying. And that's a wrap for my Game Week 2 predictions. Thanks to everyone who voted in the community poll. It's always fun to see how our picks line up. Let me know in the comments which predictions you agree with and which ones you think I've got totally wrong. And if you haven't already, make sure to vote in the next poll for Game Week 3. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss my weekly prediction videos. I'll be back soon with La Liga Game Week 3 predictions. And yes, I'll always be repping Spurs. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.